Okay, Keith, I know people are interested to see the totals. I know that we kind of have a couple of ranges there, but one of the things that you brought up to all of us here at the station today is it's going to be really difficult, almost impossible to drive during a lot of this. I mean, we're telling people to basically stay home if possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be bands in there of 2 or 3 inches an hour, and I sent out an email to the newsroom and I said, if you get in one of those, don't drive. Yeah. You know, pull over into a parking lot or whatever you need to do, because that's whiteout stuff.
I mean, here's the thing, right?
Oh, sorry, go back.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing, right? As Mainers, and I'm not one, I'm a New Englander, but we are used to driving in the snow.
Right.
Do you think that at a certain point it just gets to a point where it doesn't matter what kind of, vehicle you have, the capabilities?
It's visibility. Visibility is the problem.
Right.
So I'm not going to tell anyone to stay home, but do your own thing. If you see it puking 2 or 3 inches an hour, not a good idea, probably, if you can wait, if you can wait it out. And there's our storm starting to come together, and we're going to talk about that visibility in a second, because that's a big factor for these blizzard warnings that are in effect from southern coastal Maine into Bangor, down into Massachusetts, down into the mid-Atlantic as well. Now, remember, these winter storm warnings do not denote less snow than the blizzard warning. It just means visibility is going to be lower here, winds are going to be higher, and then winter storm watch into the mountains, where we're going to get probably lower amounts, but I don't think they're going to do poorly with this storm. So tonight, you got stuff to do, go out and do it, whatever. It's not going to be a problem. Early tomorrow morning, probably fine. I'm talking really early, but by the time you get to 6, 7 o'clock over southern coastal Maine, you run the risk of running into a heavier band of snow. It starts to fill in quickly. But the meat of this storm is late morning through early evening. And so here we are at 10 o'clock, 11, noon. These bands of snow right here are just crushing snow. Again, 2, 3 inches an hour. And I know that's kind of like an inside baseball thing to talk about, inches an hour, but like an inch an hour is a lot. You would consider that heavy snow. So 2 or 3 inches an hour is whiteout conditions. Temperatures are cold too. That's another thing I said to the field crews tomorrow, is that we're going to be in the single digits. Wind chills will be below 0 throughout the day. Still snowing here 4 or 5 o'clock. Get a couple of decent bands into the mountains. That's their best chance later in the afternoon. And then the storm stacks up on itself, becomes occluded, which means it doesn't have the same dynamics left to it, and it starts to move out tomorrow night. We should get it out of here probably officially 2 or 3 in the morning over down East Maine on Sunday, but most of us will be cleared out tomorrow night. So hourly snowfall rates, let's talk about that. When we start the morning, we've got 0.5. Okay, it's snowing, no big deal. Yeah, an inch an hour, it's snowing pretty good. And then here's where we get into the heavier stuff. 2 to 3 inches an hour, and you can see in the purple bands there the possibility of over 3 inches an hour, which is really, really big stuff, and situating itself 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then eventually once the storm occludes, it stacks and we lose the dynamics on it. So 12 to 18 plus in there, because I do think we'll see some 20s in there, but I don't want to set the low end any higher than 12, because there's inevitably spots that don't get the bands, and so I think 12 to 18 plus is the way to do it. 8 to 12 farther inland, 4 to 8 into the mountains, although I think the high terrain could get a foot out of this because their ratios will be really high, which, by the way, it will be light, fluffy snow. I don't know how much that matters if you get 20 inches of it, but I guess it's better than 20 inches of cement, right? So clearing out on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday look all right. We will probably get some mixed precipitation on Thursday and into Friday, and that will erode some of this snow. One thing that might make sense, because it's relatively light, if you got time, Saturday hanging around, this is like a multiple pass storm maybe. You know what I mean? Like, unless you've got a company that does it. You take like 6 inches away, wait, come back to the other 6. It might make it a little bit easier.
That's the plan. Okay, thanks, Keith.